As we announced earlier, today's guest is Coach Sukhveer sir from Punjab.
We are all here for a
I would love to congratulate everyone, Share Every Global Foundation, conducting really great movement
What
and
is power of now, how we can utilize it, and what stops us from achieving our goal.
Remembering to stay in the present moment as much as I talk about being in the present moment.
Today we have gathered here in advanced meet to discuss needful topic, power of now. As we announced earlier, today's guest is Coach Sukhveer sir from Punjab, India. So we are glad to see Sukhveer sir as a guest for advanced meet, first time on SGF. It's time to introduce our guest, and today's introducer or prime mover of the session is Coach Lutfianto Ida from Indonesia. So please join your hands to welcome our prime mover to introduce our present guest. Thank you so much. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is evening in Indonesia, and I'm very happy to be here again. I would love to congratulate everyone at Share Every Global Foundation for conducting really great movement and initiatives. This is really amazing. And here we are today on advanced meeting number 224. Wow, this is amazing. And on our today's occasion, we have Coach Sukhveer Singh, a success mindset coach at Human Potential and Growth, Punjab, India. Mr. Sukhveer Singh is a real dreamer and a firm believer of the science behind a successful life. He believes in the existence of a world where every single man and woman will be doing what he or she is passionate about doing and living life the way they want to live. Now, the key to such a world lies in our mind, not somewhere outside in the world. To find that key, we have to understand the mind and the laws of the universe. Being a success mindset coach, Mr. Sukhveer Singh produces programs, books, and journals that help people better understand these fantastic ideas about their mind. So, dear friends, colleagues, and every single person attending this meeting, I would love everyone to join me. Welcome Mr. Sukhveer Singh. Mr. Sukhveer Singh, I believe it's time for you to rock the stage. Thank you.
We are all here for a cause, and you are going to get the best benefit out of these. So without any further delay, let's get straight into action. Let's bring back our attention to the agenda of the call, as I have already discussed with you. First, we are going to discover what is power of now, how we can utilize it, and what stops us from achieving our goal. And then the mind, brain, and the body connection, which is the ultimate science behind every goal achievement. Irrespective of whatever your goal is, you could have a relationship goal, you could have a personal goal, you could have a business goal, you could have a financial goal, or you could have a health goal. Every single goal will become achievable for you once you understand the connection between your mind, your brain, and your body. So let's switch gears and let's begin to think. Now look at this hourglass that is on screen right now. I usually also carry one to demonstrate this concept. Now, there are three parts to this hourglass, right? The sand is constantly moving. There is sand in the bottom of this glass. There is sand in the top of this glass. And the sand at the bottom of the glass represents your past. It's gone. No amount of worry can change it. If you keep thinking about what has happened yesterday, it's not going to help you because you cannot go back and change it. And nobody knows that how much sand is left over there. That's your future. But this is the moment right here in which the sand is flowing. The only thing that you can control in this sand glass is the point where the sand flows from the top part to the bottom part. That's what your life is. The only time that you can control in your life, it is right now, right here. But what stops us? It is our thinking. That's why we have a bold heading over there. Let's begin to think. Thinking is one of the highest functions that you and me are capable of doing. Animals cannot think. They go by instinct. But in our case, we are blessed with the power to think. But what happens? Most of the time, we are thinking about what is wrong in our life. Most of the time, we are thinking about how challenging my life is. Most of the time, we think about, what obstacles are there in front of my goal. And we waste majority of our time in that daily trivial thinking. Now, there was a great doctor, Dr. Ken McFarland, who said 2% of the people think. Now, listen very carefully. This may be a little bit difficult to digest, but that is the real truth. He said 2% of the people think, 3% of the people think they think, 95% of the people would rather die than think. Nobody is thinking. There are very few selective individuals who are actually thinking. Now, what do I mean by real thinking? You will came to know about it once we go ahead and discuss the concept of paradigm. But just give you a little overview of my journey, from where I started. I want you to look at this image. This was my office in 2016 where I started my business. I had no business experience. I had no knowledge. I had no fancy equipment. And even I don't have a fancy office at that time. But I had one vision. If you watch this image very clearly, you will see a map over there in the background, a world map. And I decided at that time, sitting in that room, which was the storeroom of my house, that I'm going to build a company which will be operating all over the world. Now, at that time, I was operating in the now moment. I was not thinking about the future. I just decided that if you just focus closely on that, map, you will see there are red lines over there. That was symbolic to me that I already have a company that is all over the world. And at that time, I had no knowledge, no experience, no equipment, no team, nothing at all. But in that present moment, I had envisioned myself having a company which is all over the world. And right now we are in 2022. And I'm very proud to say that right now we are having clients in 10 different countries in the world. When we do virtual seminars, we stream it to 10 different countries. The last seminar that we did, we streamed it to 11 countries. And how did that happen? It didn't happen overnight, but it happened over time. You know why? Because every single day I started taking actions. I started working in this present moment. Like, for example, if I'm on this webinar right now, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do after this call. I'm just thinking about the best service that I can provide to every single person who is on this call right now. That's what the power of now is. All right. And then from 2016, we moved to 2019 when this same room was transitioned. And now I'm sitting in a completely different office. This is a new home in which I am right now. Now, why I'm showing this to you? I'm not showing these images to impress you, but I'm showing these images to impress an idea upon your mind. And that idea is the possibility that lies within you, the abundance that lies within you. That means irrespective of whatever your goal is, there is power inside you and outside you that have the capability to help you to get that thing. Now, what I really did, I have achieved results, but what I have done over the last 5 years, I was working on my paradigms. Now, some of you may be familiar with this term, or some of you may not be familiar with this term. But if I have to simplify for you that what is paradigm, now, let me ask you a question. We all are together right now, okay, right? Some of you might be from India, some of you are from Malaysia, some of you are from US. What is the one common thing that has bring us together here? I know it is a share every platform that is bring us right here, but what is the next thing that allows us to do this right now, right here, while being in the different part of the world? Now, as you see, we are forgetting the most important thing. You know, the common thing that is allowing us to communicate with each other, it's Zoom. Imagine if we don't have Zoom, how would we communicate with each other? Imagine if we don't have internet, how would we done business all over the world? So what is Zoom? What is internet? They are programs created by an engineer. So there is a program that is running on your mobile right now. There is a program that is running on my computer right now. My program is running on my internet. Your program is running on your internet, but it is connecting us together. Just like the way there is a program in your computer, there is program in your mind. That program is called as our paradigm. Now, when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to remind yourself that, okay, you know, let's say there's a person called Raja. Raja wake up in the morning. Raja don't remind himself like that. Raja, go and brush your teeth. When Raja wakes up, he go to the washroom and he brush his teeth. Why and how it happens? Because there is an automatic mechanism that is taking place. When you go to your job, when you go to your office, there is a certain way you communicate with people. When you are on a sales call, there is a certain way when you take a sales call. If you are into like, you know, operationals, or if you are into like data handling, there is a certain way you handle the data. You know, if there is a doctor, the doctor will have no confusion in his mind when he's treating a patient. You know why? Because the doctor is habitual to performing an operation. Similarly, an IT guy will be doing so much stuff on your laptop automatically because he is programmed to do that. Similarly, we have programs in our mind which are usually our habits. Some of your habits are good, some of your habits are not good. Good habits produce good results, bad habits produce bad results. But when we put all those habits together in a collective way, that is what we call as a paradigm. Now, I know one thing definitely sure about you. That is, we all want something better in our life. Now, let's look at the technical definition of paradigm. Paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And what is our habitual behavior? And almost all our habitual behavior, you know, all of our behavior is habitual. That means right now, even I'm talking to you, you know, it's habitual. You know, you're making notes is habitual. When you drive your car, it's habitual. You know, you can drive your car at the same time, you can take a phone call and you will have no difficulty doing that. Why? Because it is in a habit. But what if somebody told you that go and drive a truck and you don't know how to drive a truck? Maybe for a few months, it will be a struggle because you don't know how to drive it. But then what will happen after a few weeks, few months, you will get used to truck, you will get used to driving that truck, that it will become easy for you. That's what paradigm does. Paradigms, if they are properly developed, they make your life easy. Paradigms, if they are not taken care of, they can make your life literally stuck. Now, the one thing that I want to know about you is that you all want to change your results. Now, there are majorly three areas in which people want to change their results. You know, health is the number one. Then the second, we have wealth. And the third one, we have relationships. You can go anywhere in the world. Every single person that you meet either wants better health, either want better relationship, or want more happiness, or want more money into his life. But the problem is that why people are not getting these results. You know, why people are not getting these results. Now, if you look at that results, they can be either positive or negative. Like, for example, if you look at someone who is earning more money than you, your results may seem negative to you. If you're looking at someone who is more healthy than you, you may start feeling bad about your health, right? But what we are doing in that present moment, we are getting into the state of comparison. And when we get into the state of comparison, we don't get any benefit out of it. So what we have to understand, we have to ask ourselves a question. Results. Do results just happens? I want you to think about it. Results never just happen. Whatever results you have right now in your life, they are an exact reflection of the programming, the paradigms that are right there in your subconscious mind. You know, when we talk about the power of now, in this present moment, whatever you are going to decide to do for your goal is going to be controlled by two things. If you are not consciously paying attention to your thoughts can be automatically controlled by already predetermined programming that has been there in your mind. But we have to learn how to gain conscious control over that programming. Now, how many of you have heard about the concept thought become things? If you are aware about law of attraction, if you have studied law of attraction, if you have watched the movie Secret, people talks about thought become things. But I'm going to break it down for you today that you will literally know how thought become things. You know, in the very first phase, there is an energy. You know, if you look at your laptop, it seems solid, but it is not solid. If you look at your laptop with a, a microscope, you are going to find out that laptop is a particles vibrating at a very high speed. You know, everything on this planet is, we are in the ocean of motion. That means everything on this planet is moving. Nothing is stationary. If you look at the wall in your house, the wall may seem stationary, but the wall is not stationary. The wall is moving. Now, I'll give you a funny example. When you put a body into coffin, how the body turns into death, how the body decays, because the body is moving. There are particles in the body which is moving. We call it dead, but it's not dead. It's just like that, the spirit has moved out of the body and the body is still moving. And after a few weeks, few months, the body decayed and it turned into dust. Why? Because even that body is vibrating. So everything that is there in life is energy. And science say that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can transfer from one form into another. So what happens when this thought energy enters your mind? This energy take the form of thought. Like, for example, right now we are talking, I'm sharing some messages with you and I am sharing these messages with you. And there are some thoughts that are getting triggered into your mind. And you know what's going to happen? Some of you are going to get inspired by it. Some of my ideas are just going to bring you on another level of motivation. And when you entertain that thought, when you hold on to that idea creates feeling. When we listen to a motivational video, when we listen to inspirational audio, what happens? That inspirational audio caused a shift within us. We don't know what was that shift, but we started feeling good about ourselves. Why it is recommended by every single great mentor on the planet that you should work on yourself. Why they tell us that you should read books. Why they tell us that you should listen to audios. Because they know that when you constantly listen to a message over and over and over again, that originates feelings. That shifts your feeling. And when there is a shift in feeling, that causes a shift in vibration, because automatically when you start feeling good, you start vibrating at a good vibration. If I have to give you an example of vibration, we all are familiar with the radio, right? Now, if I ask you that, is there music in this room where you're sitting right now? What will be your answer? Some of you are going to say yes, some of you are going to say no. But what if you take out your phone and you tune into 92.3 FM or whatever frequency, there will be music. Now, from where that music came? Out of the thin air. But what was required to tap into that music? A device. And similarly, in order for you to tap into the frequency of the universe, you require a device. And you don't have to hire that device. You don't have to go to a supermarket to buy it. It is already there within you. And that device is your brain. That device is your mind. Brain is our physical part that we know it's there up there, but mind, nobody knows where it is. But your mind is the most important element of your life. And when you change your vibration, that changes the action. That, my dear friends, changes the results. But now let's come to the most important part. I said equipment. Quickly tell me in the chat box, what is the color of your house? Now, some of you might be thinking out of nowhere, color of house, what it has to do with this meeting. It has absolutely to do something with this meeting. Let me know what is the color of your house. All right, brown, lemon. All right, let's switch gears. What is the color of your car? All right, blue, silver. All right, let's switch gears. What is the color of your fridge? Gray, silver, gray. Now, understand one thing. When I said, what is the color of your house? There was an image. When I said, what is the color of the car? There was an image. When I say, what is the color of your fridge? There's an image. Now, can anybody tell me, how does your mind looks like? What is the color of your mind? What is the size of your mind? What is the shape of your mind? You see, the most important element that allows you to change your life is your mind. Now, I know how to tap into the frequency of radio. Just pick up my phone, open the radio application. If it's not there, go to Play Store, download it, and tune into 98.3 FM. And I will get the desired result, that is listening to music. But when I'm talking about changing the results of my life, I know the equipment that helps me to change the results in my life is my mind. But the problem is that nobody knows how does that mind looks like. Nobody knows how to tap into it. So what I'm going to do right now is that I am going to introduce you to an image. Now, this is the image that was introduced in 1934 by a great doctor, Dr. Thurman Fleet. You know, a doctor at that time said that all the medical profession is treating symptoms of the disease. He said, if we want the complete health, we have to treat the root cause. And he said the root cause is the mind. And then he added on, but nobody has ever seen the mind. And nobody will ever see the mind. You know why? Because mind is not, it's not a physical organ of your body. It's an activity. It is in every single cell of your body. So he said we have to use our mind and draw an image. This is the image that he drew. He said, let this big circle represents the mind and let this small circle represents the body. Now, as we already know, that your mind is divided into two parts. The above part is the conscious mind and the bottom part is the subconscious mind. If you go to the psychologist, psychiatrist, they may tell you that there are many parts of the mind. And they might be right, but for the sake of personal development, we are only going to talk about the two parts, conscious and the subconscious, because these are the two parts, if properly understood, can completely alter your life. Now, what I said in the agenda of the call, that we are going to talk about the mind, the brain, and the body connection. After studying this diagram for 5 years, and, you know, masterminding this idea with one of my great mentors and a good friend, Mr. Sunil Chaya, who is into, you know, the methodology of Jose Silva, who talks a lot about brain waves, alpha waves, we come to a conclusion that we should add another element to this diagram. And that element is our brain. Here is our brain in dumbbell shape, the left one and the right one. Now, you know, we have talked about how thoughts become feelings and how it turns into results, right? That's what I'm going to demonstrate to you right now, right here on this diagram. But before we do it, I'm going to quickly tell you what are the functions of your conscious mind, what are the functions of your subconscious mind, because once you know the functions, you will know that what I'm talking about. Now, your conscious mind is your thinking mind. That means in your conscious mind, you have the ability to think. What does that mean? That means you have a choice. You have a choice to accept ideas or reject ideas. That means if somebody tells you tomorrow that your business is going to collapse, it's up to you whether you want to accept their suggestion or you simply want to say, oh, that may be true for you, but not for me. It's right there in your conscious mind. We make decisions every single day, but we don't know how powerful it is. It is damn powerful when you just study it. And then we have the power to originate ideas. Now, whenever I teach this to my clients, I always ask them a question. You know, look at Thomas Edison. What great invention he has done. Now, did Edison have internet at his time? No. So how he come up with the great idea to come up with the incandescent bulb? If we have to research something today, what we do, we go to Google and we type how to do it. You know, even if sometimes somebody gets stuck today operating Zoom, you can go to Google, you can type, this is the error I'm getting in Zoom, and you will get thousands of tutorial over there. If you're working on a science project, you will have information at one click. Edison, Henry Ford, many other names, how they come up with great ideas to create inventions that literally transformed the whole world. They have used their power that was right there within their mind, originate. They know how to tune into the frequency of the God, how to tune into the universal frequency. All the knowledge, all the information that you require to achieve your goal is already present. We have Zoom today. Why we didn't have Zoom 50 years ago? Because 50 years ago, nobody tapped into the frequency that something can be created where people can connect from all over the world. But right now, you see, it is a reality. Now, 50 years ago, the same material was available, but the only thing missing was getting to that frequency. People were not getting there, and that's why they were not getting the results. Right? Now, let's go to the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, on the other hand, only accept ideas. But there is a condition. It only accepts those ideas which are well mixed with emotion. That means you have to get emotionally involved with your thoughts. If you just write something, because there are many people who talk about affirmations, you can keep writing your affirmations every single day, every single day, every single day. It still won't change your life. You can keep writing your goals every single day, every single day. It won't help you to achieve those goals until or unless you get emotionally involved with your goals. Now, what stops us, as I already told you, your paradigm. Now, what happens? You have a subconscious paradigm right here. Now, there is a great energy that is flowing to and through you. This energy is just is. It's neither positive nor negative. And you have the power to build an idea in your conscious mind. That means you have the ability to choose your thoughts in your conscious mind. But what happens? In the present moment, when you look at your goal, let's say you have a goal to win $1 million next year. You know what's going to happen whenever you write your goal to win $1 million? There is going to be a voice from inside that is going to start screaming at you. Who the hell you think you are? It's not possible. You have never even earned 100,000. How you can even have $1 million? It's impossible. It's tough. Nobody has ever done that. So the paradigm is going to talk to you, and it is going to do everything it can to give you a negative idea in your conscious mind. And what happens when you have a negative thought here and you keep thinking about this negative thought over and over and over again, you impress this negative thought in the form of feelings. And what happens? You start doubting yourself, you start worrying, you start, overthinking. The problem in this world is not knowledge. Because we are living in a digital age and the knowledge is there and it is in abundance. Like in this Share Every platform, there are great people. Every week we connect with each other. They share information. They show you how to do better in your life. So what is the problem? The problem is not bringing that information into action. And why we don't do it? Because we have a paradigm right there in the subconscious mind. And how to override that paradigm. To override that paradigm, we have to work on ourselves every single day. We have to get emotionally involved with these ideas, and we have to study. This is the one thing that you can never miss. Thank you, Mr. Rambabu. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I believe that this may have really opened up our audience to a new way of thinking. Thank you so much.
What a presentation, sir. Really, we are so lucky to have you today. Thanks for your time, knowledge, and experience, and whatever you have portrayed here. We are so lucky. Thank you so much for being with us today. And now it's time to take the reflection. I would like to invite Sandra Walks from Canada. Please go ahead.
Well, what an honor. Sukhveer, I've followed you from a long time now, and it is absolutely amazing. Your energy matches with my energy. I love your energy. I love that you share your journey. I mean, the whole idea of recognizing where you started was a room, and our minds are simply our mind room, and we can change it. And you have certainly, I remember when you said that when you started out, you were on your Facebook page and you were on your gadgets and toys. And when you finally got the message, you cut up the cords, so you couldn't do that anymore. Sometimes you had to make those drastic decisions, and it's really tough. But as we start to come familiar with our mind, and certainly your presentation today makes it very, very clear. I love the way you analyze it, bring it down. And when we need to change a habit, we don't need to change every habit all at once. Choose the one that's on top. Which one is it that we want to change? And if that happens to be study, you can't miss. If it happens to be having a new way of thinking about one thing in your life, you can't miss. And I recognize that a lot of my struggle even today is remembering to stay in the present moment. As much as I talk about being in the present moment and how we can't change the past and we can't be fussing and worrying, I do live that for the most part. But the real challenge, the real work is exactly what you said, to keep bringing ourselves back to the attention of the moment, the attention of the moment, the attention of this moment. And your presentation really brings it to light. But if we don't stay with it day by day by day, it doesn't plug in. And I really like the way that you said, okay, let's make sure that when you wake up in the morning, you study. When you wake up in the morning, you dream your dreams. When you wake up in the morning, you stay in the present moment and do with what we have to do this present moment, the power of now. It's a wonderful energy that SUKHVEER brought to the presentation. I really appreciated being here today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your great reflection, Sandra ma'am.